Hello, my friends in Indonesian. Now I'm with Becky. Is from America, and she already read about 1 month our short story, Graveside Ritual.
Yes.
This short story written by 12 friends: Ari Sundari, Ana, Mustamin, Bambi Cahyadi, Bayu Gautama, Mai Rosa, Laura Pais, Moksatria Welang, Nitu Paras Erlang, Ahmad Ali, Sofa Muhammad, and Winarti. And this, the translation made by 11 translator, and then also one of them is Ani from America, and the whole story edited by Alex and Matt from London. And now I want to ask Becky. Becky, thank you very much for your time. Yeah,
You're
reading
welcome.
our short story. This is from literature community in internet from Indonesia. And what is your impression about the story? The whole impression.
Okay, so my impression was that it was really interesting to me that it was a combination of different authors in one book, because I guess I'm used to reading novels or nonfiction, and it's just one author's voice. So it was interesting to have 12 short stories of different voices in the same book, and they kind of, some of them I felt like had an underlying theme of death, good and evil, and those sorts of lines. The one thing I did think to myself was it was a little more challenging to read the short stories because the names were different than American names. So that's just like, as an American, I'm so used to reading like Sally and Ben and Bob, and then I immediately know the name, and I'd have to stop on the name and go, in order to get engaged with the character, I'd have to be like, okay, what's Catarto or Catarto? Like, when names are different, and that's totally I haven't traveled that much until I moved, so that's like something that I found different. I would have to stop and really try to envision the character and embrace the name. Does that make sense? And like some of the games, like the one story about Politan, the game they play with the swords and stuff, I didn't really know what that was. So when I'm reading the story, and whenever I read, I think there's a part of me that tries to picture myself in the story. Reading stories from different cultures is different than reading strictly American stories, and I like that. It kind of like opens my eyes, and you learn a little bit about the culture itself, so that was pretty cool. Some of them they didn't have like nice endings all the time, like it wasn't like happily ever after, so I would say a lot of and I have a 5-year-old, so right now I read a lot of children's short stories, not necessarily adult short stories. So these were more thought-provoking. They didn't have that happily ever after ending, like the Disney storybooks and all the kid books that I read right now. It was more like they made me think a lot about society, good and evil, people's feelings. It got into the grief process, fighting, affairs, even like some of the stories were quite a bit more, I would say, like sexual than some of the stuff I read in like I have read. So my impression was that it was different.
Have you got a little bit atmosphere about Indonesia?
Yes, and I thought also that in terms of, even though I'm guessing the authors' English might be their second language, I still felt like they were easy to read, and they flowed. And I thought there was some really good use of analogies, like comparing life to a strand of hair. Like there were really some good use of comparing things in the story that made a lot of sense to me as the reader. So I think there was no language barrier.
No language barrier. So the translation quality in the edition is very quite well.
Yes.
Oh, thank you very much. And then the next, the contents. What have you already memorized about the story?
The whole story or individual stories?
Although you can say individual, or what you can
So I was a little nervous that I wouldn't remember because it's 12 different stories.
Yes.
Every story
Yes,
and what
different,
happened.
yes.
Yeah. So I definitely remember the first one the most about the pistol.
Yeah, the pistol, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember thinking about the loneliness the
Yeah.
father experienced in his life, being such a hard worker, and it felt like both it felt like even in his own police force, he wasn't accepted as one of them, so he became such good friends with a pistol, and so it was kind of like a child having an imaginary friend, like, and then when he left it and his child got this pistol and ended up shooting the pistol, it was almost like the pistol was screaming its entire life, I want to be shot, and he was sort of ending that for his dad by shooting I think it was a mouse.
That is one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other one that I remember a lot is the mother's sofa. So that was a really good one.
Mother's sofa, yeah.
Because even as a mom, seeing her children and what they came to realize about her ability to love them despite their faults really tugged at my heartstrings and made me feel good. There were some other ones like the one about the fast food restaurant.
Yeah, the fast food restaurant.
I kind of like remembered that because like we became friends at McDonald's.
Yes.
And it kind of also was like
the author is working in McDonald's too.
who?
Yeah. The
Oh,
author,
really?
yeah.